All right, Shalom. First and foremost, only of all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the Akim, to the elect that are scattered across the four corners of this earth, pushing this truth out in faith and in sincerity. All right, this lesson is basically, I hope the air, the AC, it's not too loud. Let me see. Yeah, basically about examining yourself. Because, one thing the Apostle Paul always states, I heard him say it many times, that our main enemy in this truth will be us. And being in this truth, you got to watch yourself. Watch how you think, watch how you act. Your actions daily. Right? To see if you are still in this thing, to see if it lines up with the Spirit, to see if it lines up with the Scriptures and with the will of the Most High. The things that you're doing on a daily basis. Are you doing too much of something? Are you doing too less of something? So, are you on balance? See? It's a lot of things, just to basically see if you behaving, as a man of the Lord. And that's a big thing, because you don't want to go into Jacob's trouble or to the end thinking that you've been doing what you've been doing or what you're supposed to have been doing, but you really haven't, because you haven't really examined yourself, right? And examine your actions, right? And yeah, I mean this is gonna be should be a pretty quick lesson. It shouldn't be nothing long through the Spirit. But this is 2 Corinthians 13:5. It says, "Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves are that Yahweh Shai is in you, except ye be reprobates." You see, so Paul is speaking about examining ourselves. Right, well, y'all got to do this. This is something that's a daily thing, because if you slip up from it and don't be consistent, with examining and, seeing how you are, right, how you conducting yourself in this truth in this ministry, you can drift off. You see, you could be, for example, if you can be too into the world without even knowing it if you don't examine yourself. See, and being too into the world, you can start moving like them and thinking like them, and before you know it, man, it could be terrible. But if you examine yourselves and you notice it, then you could attempt to get back on the right path and pray to the Most High to get your mind right, your spirit right. See? Hey, but sometimes you ain't gonna be able to catch it yourself, but you want to be able to catch everything you see that you can, because some things another brother probably just gonna have to tell you, hey bro, you doing this and that, you gotta chill out. Then damn, the water out. See, sometimes it's gonna take somebody else to see it. Hey, sometimes you ain't gonna see it, and the Most High is gonna have to jack you up. But that's the least. That's you don't want to take it there. You don't want that. You see. But the Most High have things happen to how He wanted to happen. Right? But it says, "Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahweh Shai is in you, except ye be reprobates." Right? And reprobates meaning void of light, void of this understanding. All right? When we are not reprobates, we got this understanding, and we got to put it to use and apply it in all situations, that we are in. And that's what the examining is for, to see if we are living up to what we preaching. Paul spoke about that in 1 Corinthians 9. What it is? 27. "But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection." Meaning that he bringing his body into subjection to the will of the Most High, to do what he's supposed to do through the Spirit. You see, because we are in this truth trying to gain the incorruptible crown. So your body, this flesh, this wicked flesh, wants to do evil, wants to sin, wants to get worldly and carnal. You see, but you got to put yourself under subjection to these laws, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. You see, can't be out here living like a demon. You know, living like the average Israelite in Babylon, caught up into this place, wanting this place to go to prosper, or wanting to have a kingdom here. You see, they don't really want to see this place destroyed. You see, a lot of people talk it, but don't walk it. The Most High, he said that, you know, this is the people that draw near unto me with their mouth, right, but their hearts are far from me, their minds. So in the outer appearance, it might seem like, okay, yeah, they down with the Most High, they down for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, but inwardly, it ain't there. He's not dwelling in them. He's not dwelling within them. He ain't dealing with them, because they're not really holding themselves to a certain type of standard, right? You got Christian Israelites, American Israelites. They try to mix the truth with the world, but it ain't that, right? And they still be living like demons, still living like who they were instead of being born again. But in the truth, you gotta be born again and put yourself into subjection to the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. But he says, I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I shall preach to others, I myself should be a castaway. Let's go into this word castaway. Adakimos, right? Strong's G96. Unproved, that is rejected. Right? We preaching to people saying do this, do that. Right? We got to change. You see, but you ain't living up to it. At the end of the day, the Most High gonna reject you. Hey, we don't want that. Worthless, right? Reprobate. You see, we are not reprobates. You see? But somebody that's living it, that's preaching it but not living it, that's reprobate. You are void of understanding, because you don't really understand what you're in. That which does not prove itself unfit for. You see, unfit for what? Unfit for the kingdom, unfit for everything. Scriptures speak about being meat for the master's use. See, because this life we live, we're supposed to live until Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, because we were brought back from the dead into this truth, into this light, and we're not supposed to live unto ourselves, but live unto Yahweh. As Paul spoke about that. Everything we do is supposed to be for the Lord. See, not saying that, we ain't gonna have a life, some type of life here, do things within the world, but ultimately, we walking in the spirit. Every decision, every action, and everything is gonna be right for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. He's gonna be in our minds at all times. Right? The truth never supposed to leave your mind. This is how we operate. We operate in that energy, right? In that spirit. You see? But yeah, man, that was a lesson. I didn't want it to be too long. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom, Makyam.